Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Now, Nicki Minaj shoe collection and partnership, because she's part owner with LATT0, it has been announced that her shoe collection is sold out, but they will be restocking it pretty soon. So let me know how y'all feel about that. I think this is a phenomenal look for Nicki Minaj. I honestly think if Nicki really get heavy into her entrepreneurship bag, she could be making hundreds of millions of dollars just like Rihanna. And eventually having a $1 billion company, which would be very lucrative for Nicki Minaj, okay? With that also being said, Nicki Minaj becomes the first female rapper to spend over 70 cumulative weeks on the Billboard Hot Gospel Songs chart, okay? Because of her song with Tasha Cobbs, I believe it's called Blessings, it's on Pink Friday too. So that gospel song is very successful on the charts. A lot of people don't talk about that because it's not a secular song. But Nicki Minaj is very diverse, and she can do gospel, she can do rap, she can do R&B, and she can do pop. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, fans are also hoping that JT adds Nicki Minaj, Gucci Mane, and Sexy Red to the OK single that is allegedly dropping soon. How y'all feel about that? Now, like I said before, I think JT is doing a phenomenal job by doing these club appearances and building her own fan base. Okay, which I think is a smart idea because a lot of other female rappers tend to use the barbs as their fan base to sell records. But if the song charts by itself with just JT on it, then I do think that JT should add, Sexy Red or Gucci Mane or, Soulja Boy, whoever she want to add on the song. I don't think necessarily she got to add Nicki Minaj though. It could just be her and Sexy Red, her and Gucci Mane, because that's their sound, okay? And Nicki can't adapt to anything, but I think that JT is already doing a phenomenal job at working and putting out music by herself. I don't think she really needs to do, a collaboration with Sexy Red or Nicki Minaj. I think she's doing a good job at just putting out solo music by herself. Now, fans are speculating that Nicki Minaj is subliminally sticking up for Champagne Thickums. As we know, Clown Gang put out an interview dissing Champagne Thickums, and Nicki Minaj tweeted D0JA. So some fans believe that Nicki Minaj was talking about the fact that everybody is ganging up on Champagne Thickums. I hope that's not the case because Champagne Thickums never sticks up for Nicki. Moving on to Doja Badu. Doja Agora Hills has now spent 30 weeks charting on the Billboard Hot 100. It is her 11th song to achieve this milestone, the second most for any female artist, surpassing Rihanna. Wow. Doja Cat is currently leading the charts. And honestly, I'm not really shocked. I feel like Doja Cat, she thrives when she does pop. When she do fully rap records, it don't thrive as much. But when she do pop records, and Agora Hills is a pop song to me, because she's singing all up in that record, it makes sense why it's still charting high. I personally think that Doja Cat should leave rap alone and just do pop and R&B. I think she would fully thrive in the pop and R&B lane, okay? If she goes strictly pop and R&B, she's selling over 100,000, possibly even doing 200,000 first week. I think the reason why people don't support Doja, one, she is rude to her fans, of course, but also people just don't enjoy Doja Cat rapping as much as they do when she sings. And I think that's why her sales were low with Scarlett. Now, as we previously discussed, Botch and Bitter is struggling to sell out on the EBT experience. That is, I think, in June. And it's a concert featuring Sexy Red, Gunna, I believe DeVito, and Botchin' Bitter is the headliner. Okay? And allegedly Titanic Records is not too happy that a lot of seats are still available. Okay? Because they not only have Botchin' Bitter headlining, they got Sexy Red, who is popular right now, Gunna, DeVito. So why aren't people buying tickets? Titanic Records is putting Botchin' Bitter to the test to see if she can do an arena tour like Nicki Minaj. Okay? I mean, she is a one-time Scammy winner. She has 5 number ones. She just went top 10 a few weeks ago. So it really don't make sense as to why she cannot sell out an arena tour by herself. You know, even when she headlined Summer Jam last year, it wasn't completely sold out. So with that being said, I think Botchin' Bitter should copy JT, and instead of doing an arena tour, she should perform at the clubs like JT is doing so she can build up her fan base. Okay? And you might be saying, well, she's been in the game for 7 years. Yeah, but a lot of people that were supporting Botchin' Bitter were Nicki Minaj haters. You know, they were part of the hate train. The hate train is over, so she got to start over and build her fan base from scratch. And the way she can do that is following JT and going into the clubs, not to strip, but to perform her song. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. Somebody has sent me this, but allegedly SeatGeek, a third-party vendor for tickets, is telling fans, via email that Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla's tour tickets prices are dropping. Okay. Some fans are blaming resales, because, people do buy them and then resell them. But usually they resell them for a higher price, not a lower price. That's very interesting. When I went to Nicki Minaj concert, I didn't get no email that her tour tickets were dropping. That's very interesting. But a little birdie did tell me that Megan Thee Stallion, she cares about her fans so much, and she knows that inflation is infecting people, and, the cost of living is up. We're about to head into a recession. We basically already are in one. That's why Megan Thee Stallion has decided to lower her ticket prices even more. Okay? Because of inflation. Okay? So she's doing her fans a favor. And when I went and looked at, her website, the lowest tickets I saw were like, $30, $40, okay, which is not a lot. So it's probably going to be like $15, $20 now, which is a steal. So let me know if you guys are going to go to the Megan Thee Stallion tour now, especially since some of her ticket prices has dropped. This could be beneficial to the ones that didn't want to pay $40 to $50 to see her in Gorilla Glue. Now you guys may only spend like $20 to $15. Now Scratch Off gets clocked by Ice Spice yet again. Ice Spice Deluxe EP is currently out streaming Scratch Off 777 album, okay? And Scratch Off had a top 5 hit on there, Low Energy, okay? Now she's out streaming Scratch Off by like 400 million streams, which is actually embarrassing because Scratch Off been in the industry way longer. Okay, but not only that though, Ice Spice, like, is an EP, it's not even an album. So this is why it's even more embarrassing. And I honestly think that it's because of the Princess Diana remix, collaboration. That's why Ice Spice got her beat. But it's still embarrassing for Scratch Off. Now, Queen Bee is getting sabotaged yet again. It has been reported that Rihanna has earned her first ever solo RIAA Diamond Certified single with diamonds. It's her third overall following Love the Way You Lie, featuring Eminem, and We Found Love, which I think is also featuring Calvin Harris. Riri now joins Nicki Minaj as the only black female artist with a solo diamond song certified by the RIAA. Nicki Minaj with Super Bass and Rihanna with Diamonds. But I'm sorry, this is not adding up to me. How does Queen Bee not have a diamond song? She been in the game since the 90s. It's not adding up. I think that she's being sabotaged by Paylo Board because they don't want her to surpass Rihanna or the chart obsessed racists. That's just my theory. Because at the end of the day, you're telling me that Single Ladies, Crazy in Love, okay, Love on Top, Drunken Love, none of those are diamond? Okay, that just don't make sense to me. Nothing from Destiny Childs is diamond? She has 32 or 33 scammies and she don't got a diamond record? That doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. Okay? So, Queen Bee is being sabotaged. They don't want her to be the queen of music. They trying to push Rihanna and the chart obsessed races to make it seem like they better. But Riri don't even release music. How is this possible? Okay, so I think Queen Bee needs to investigate that because I just highly doubt that Crazy in Love and Love on Top and Single Ladies and Sweet Dreams, none of them are diamond. That don't make sense to me. So I think Queen Bee needs to conduct an investigation and then sue Paylo Board. But Queen Bee did clock the chart obsessed races because the chart obsessed races has been getting low reviews from, her recent album. I think it was called The Torturous Department. What was it called? The Torturous Department or something like that. It was terrible. I didn't like the album at all. But Pitchfork and a bunch of other publications besides Rolling Stone, which received Donkey of the Day the other day for lying, they have given her terrible reviews. She's gotten 3.6, 6, 5s out of 10s. But overall, Cowboy Carter has gotten better reviews over the chart obsessed races. And a lot of fans believe this could help Queen Bee win Album of the Year. Okay? And I listened to the Chart Obsessed Races album, and it was boring. You know what I'm saying? The problem with the Chart Obsessed Races is she still makes music like she a teenager. Like, you're in your mid-30s. You gotta grow up. She's still talking in her music like she's 16, 17. And that's not the case. Queen Bee makes music for grown women. She's not talking like she a teenager in her music. So that's why it probably got a lot of low reviews. I'm thinking Olivia Rodrigo's album was better than that nonsense, the Chart Obsessed Races put out. But, she did better in album sales. Now, Quavo responded to the crackhead Chris Breezy the Colorist with a diss track called Hoes and B-Words. He said, Little B, come dance with my Drake. You been effed your bag up when you punch me in the face. Talking about Fashion Week, you spearing who? Come punch me in my face. It ain't none but a fade. You know you lost to Frank Ocean. Now, he's talking about how Chris Breezy the Colorist got into it with Frank Ocean. I think this was like in 2011 over a parking space. And I guess Frank Ocean won that fight. I don't know if I fully believe that, but that's what Quavo was saying. He said, niggas ran in your house, tied up your aunt, cause you ain't pay. Allegedly, Chris Breezy, the junkie, owes, a few drug dealers some money, and they tied up his aunt because he didn't pay. And Chris Breezy, the Colorist, never denied it. This bullet got your name. Don't ever bring up Take, Coochie. Have these niggas some hoes out here. I'm talking about like these niggas bleed once a month type ish. Okay, that was corny. I don't. Then he said, little boy want to die about some coochie. You still effed up about Karuchi and you try to be up Tiana. no cap, but Usher wouldn't let you do it. Now, I talked about this yesterday about how he beat up Usher, and I have already spilled the tea on Patreon. I'm not going to say it here, of what happened between Chris Breezy the Colorist and Tiana and why they fell out. But with that being said, the cocaine got him, Your Honor. Bipolar disorder, no wonder. You was the greatest, nigga, you fumble. Going outside, I'm watching you crumble. Then he said, why they got Quavo out here going back and forth with a singer turned junkie? Then he said, I can't take a model bitch and make a sweetie, which is true. That's a bar, because even though Sweetie's very pretty, she has no talent. She's like an Instagram model. So that was a bar, but he did not deny Sweetie smashing Chris Breezy the Colorist. Then he said, crackhead Michael Jackson, bitch, you better beat it. Okay, that low-key was a bar. I'm still effed up about Takeoff. I want Who Did It, but that's some real street-ish back to the industry. Where your baby mamas at? No, they got plenty of tea. Well, why didn't you try to contact them to get the tea, Quavo? I mean, come on now. Okay? Now, you spilled the tea with the auntie, because a lot of people didn't know about, Chris Brown allegedly owing gang members and street people money and then almost got his family member killed. You ain't with that one, okay? And then you ain't with the Sweetie line, okay? And calling him the crackhead Michael Jackson. But I still feel like, I don't know if it was as below the belt of the Chris Brown diss record. I feel like Chris diss was a little bit better only because he went below the belt. You got to go like really dark with Chris Brown because he's mentally unstable. So you got to hit it where it hurts. You should have definitely talked about his aunt a little bit more. Okay. Go deep into that, or talk about his mom or something like that, because he said he wished that you died. Okay. No shade. He talked about smashing your ex-girl who you have feelings for. So at the end of the day, you got to go a little bit more below the belt. But Quavo's diss record was catchy. Hair Grease Twitter is trying to say that it's trash. They always big up Chris Breezy the Colorist, even though he wouldn't pee on them if they were on fire. So, Quavo's diss record wasn't trash, but it wasn't better than Chris Breezy the Colorist. Sorry. No shade. Now, people were upset that he had Takeoff on the song singing, I think it was the chorus. But at the end of the day, he's related to Takeoff, but I'm not really for, dead people being on diss records. If Champagne Thickums did it and it was corny, Quavo kind of doing it is corny too. Okay, you need to have people that are well and alive. And that possibly could have been AI. You never know nowadays. Now, Chris Breezy the Colorist responded and said, Google Raps, that shit is poo. Damn, I was excited. That ish don't even need a response. Takeoff rap better. Okay? Now, I definitely think you need to respond about your auntie getting tied up because you owe money to drug dealers. And before y'all say, oh, he's a millionaire, that don't mean nothing. Okay? Chris Breezy don't be selling like that. No shade. Look at his album sales. And then last year, he also had a tax lien on file. So he clearly don't be paying stuff. No shade. Now, with that being said, Loose Coochie Sweetie and Scary Cat J. Cole will be receiving Donkey of the Day again. Scary Cat, J. Cole's 7-minute drill departs from the Hot 100 from number 6 following its removal from streaming services. It earns the steepest drop from the chart in the week after debuting. And, unfortunately, I have to give him Donkey of the Day for that. Okay? You look like a coward. I mean, you couldn't even stand up for Champagne Thickums after he gave you your first number 1. So, honestly, J. Cole is out of the big 3 for me. It's Kung Fu Kenny, Nicki Minaj, and Champagne Thickums, to be quite honest. You've been out of the big 3. You can't keep up, and you're a coward, and you couldn't even stand by Champagne Thickums while everybody gang up on him. You're a terrible friend. You letting Clown Ye, talk all this junk about you and Champagne Thickums, saying that he is doing the elimination of Champagne Thickums and he's happy about it. And you not doing nothing about that. I mean, I just feel like you kind of like a terrible friend. Like, you left Champagne Thickums when it got tough. You was on stage with him when everything was fun and y'all was making millions of dollars. But now everybody dissing him. You don't want no parts. Now, Sweetie is also receiving Donkey of the Day because she then reposted Quavo in her DM, not recently, but in January, he was in her DM saying, damn, we used to be mean as F to each other or something. And the reason why she's getting Donkey of the Day is because, one, you did not have that same energy for Chris Breezy the Colorist, okay? And number two, what he said was facts, okay? Sweetie, you don't have no talent. You should be an Instagram model. And he probably can turn any other girl into an Instagram model, okay? With, you know, the clout and connections that he has, okay? If he really wanted to. So, I mean, I don't understand why you trying to act like you in the right, okay? And people are just picking on you. Stop hoeing around. Bad coochie management, it will not get praised. You're flopping and you throwing it back for no reason. Sleeping with Chris Breezy the Colorist was the ultimate L because he cannot save your career and he got a big mouth, okay? And he probably was bragging and boasting about it behind the scenes. So, Donkey of the Day to you. Come back smarter next time. And keep your legs closed. But anyway, I got some hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.